You've seen the Netflix documentary Maternal Instinct about Taylor Parker from Texas, who did something very terrible. We're going to break down the 911 call. I've got Andrew Baxter with me. He's an authentic cop. He was a police officer for 29 years, just like the detective who is going to interrogate Taylor Parker. We're going to break down an investigation, her interrogation. But let's start with the 911 call, as we always do.
New Boston 911, what's your emergency?
I have a state trooper behind me, and I need an ambulance because I started having my baby.
Okay, stay on the line. I'm going to get you to LiveNet.
I got a trooper behind
me. Okay, stay on the line. Stay on the line. It's going to be okay. Stay on the line. Has he pulled you over, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay, just stay calm. It's going to be okay.
Your emergency?
I just need an ambulance to get to Annabelle.
What's your address?
I'm parked on the side of the road.
She's located at.
It looks like on my computer system is saying in decab.
We're going to Annabelle for my doctor if I need to get upstairs.
She said she's gone into labor. She has a state trooper behind her.
Okay. State trooper there right now?
Yeah, he was pulling her over as she called.
All right, ma'am, are you still here with me?
Ma'am?
Are you still here with us?
Yeah, I'm trying.
All right, what's the phone number that you're calling from? Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
I started having my baby.
Okay, all right, just stay here with me. How old are you?
All right, so at first it sounds real. Every 911 dispatcher's highest calling is to assist with the emergency delivery of a baby. But like so many 911 calls that we're handling this summer, Caleb Flynn, Anthony Shea, they all want to be the Melendez brothers, Drew. They're all using 911 to establish an alibi. This lady was driving crazy. She was lane driving all over the place. She had blood all over the inside of her car. She was cradling a newborn. She stole it from this woman, Renee Simmons Hancock. Actually, I believe that Taylor Parker probably took this picture because she was the wedding photographer for Reagan Simmons Hancock. That's how they knew each other. Reagan was pregnant, and the entire time that she was pregnant, Taylor Parker faked her own pregnancy. She was someone who needed attention. She needed to be special. She had had a partial hysterectomy in the past. She already had 2 children, but now she wanted another one, and she had everyone going along with this story that she was pregnant. Of course, actually, nobody believed her, but you know what? That's Taylor Parker. She's just a liar, and this 911 call is a further lie. If you are delivering a baby and a trooper pulls you over, there's no reason to call 911. You've got the trooper right there. The trooper's got access to a radio. I don't expect people to know this, but there really is no reason to call 911 other than she wants to categorize this stop as something other than her being caught in the act of kidnapping a baby and fleeing the scene of a murder, a vicious, very disturbing and bloody murder. That's all I have on the call. It's as simple as that. She's trying to categorize what would happen as something other than a crime. Of course, in New Boston, a 911 call would come in from Reagan's mother saying that she had found Reagan sliced up with a scalpel, her baby cut from her body, and her 3-year-old child looking on. So that's
so if you haven't seen the documentary, it's okay. Like we'll walk you through pretty much the story. John just gave you pretty much the skeletal outline of the story. And he briefly acknowledged, you know how we always operate. Every good true crime story starts with a 911 call, but we're victim first. So we definitely wanted to pay our respects to Ms. Hancock there. She was married, and unfortunately Taylor was the wedding photographer. That's the morbid part of this. This is how they met. Taylor Parker became like a wedding photographer or whatever, developed a business, and she met Reagan Hancock that way, and Reagan Simmons Hancock. And John mentioned very briefly that there was a second 911 call from the mother, and I looked high and low for it to play for you. Then I found it in the documentary itself. And I'm going to tell you, I can handle a lot. I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. I've heard a lot. It would serve zero purpose in playing that 911 call for you. It would serve nothing but exploitation of of this case. It's already being exploited in a sense. We're just trying to bring a little bit more of our knowledge to it, because there is a 911 call and there's an interrogation. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible story. But just imagine how a mother would feel walking into the house and seeing her child murdered and having to say as much over a 911 call. Now, Jon, I just want to talk before we get into the interrogation part. Would it be out of the ordinary to receive a phone call, other than the trooper being behind her? Would it be out of the ordinary to receive a 911 call where somebody is talking about giving birth?
It's not out of the ordinary. It is for me in particular. I've been a dispatcher for 11 years and never delivered a baby, but I work with people who have been dispatchers for 2 years and they've delivered 4. So, I mean, it's a luck of the draw. But as I said, dispatchers, we actually have a stork pin that you get professionally that when you help deliver a baby, you get that. And so when these dispatchers are first hearing a call of a mama, and a parent mama, saying she needs help because she's delivering her baby on the side of the road, they're assured, they feel good. There's a trooper right there. They know they're going to be able to coordinate all the help that they need to get this baby safely delivered to the hospital. But it's all a disgusting lie. And it's one of the worst cases that these dispatchers have ever had to touch. And when they look back on this call and having to listen to this liar, Taylor Parker, insinuating that she's a mother in distress when she left a mother in distress.
Oh my goodness. Like in the worst way. Yeah. In the absolute worst way. Yeah.
It just, you feel slimy after having to listen to that. And the dispatcher, you heard her, she's got some empathy in her voice. She's, stay calm. We've got help on your way. Dispatchers love to help people. We love to help good people. And just having to touch this case was slimy, and I'm sure that they don't feel good about it. And there's no way for them to have recognized what it really was, because it wasn't until the doctors got involved that we had 100% proof, as you're about to see. But it was a tough call, and luckily, that we've brought Taylor Parker to justice. We should say that the baby passed away as well.
Right.
The baby's also a victim. So there's really no upside. It wasn't that we were able to get this baby safely to the hospital in time either. The baby also passed away. So it's heartbreaking.
Just to paint the picture before we go any further, that trooper did pull her over. It's in the documentary, his body cam, and he has an interaction with her. The baby wasn't breathing, but she had stuffed the umbilical cord down her shorts to make it look like she had just given birth. The trooper didn't know any better. Nobody knew any better at this point. Like, the pieces had not come in, because we're talking about several different jurisdictions. And as probably any policy, what Taylor was saying was, just load me up in your car and get me to the hospital. And the trooper saying, no, I'm not going to do that. You need to wait here for the ambulance. That's normal. That's what we would do probably in 99.9% of the situations. And that's what ended up happening. So we could take it from there, Jon, where she ends up in the hospital.
Yep, here we go. And detectives have already arrived on scene. We're going to have an OSBI special agent already there to interview her. She's also already in the custody of local PD. But he's going to say that the game's given away right away. Here we go, Drew.
I just talked with the ER doctor. They took blood work, HCG levels, which is a hormone. It's not showing she was pregnant. And they're saying that the placenta, they can...
No, I'm not going to interrupt this 100 times, but he whispered, yeah, she's had a hysterectomy. So it's already known that she can't have kids.
Send the placenta off for test, and whether it comes back to her or not. She won't let her do a vaginal exam to make sure she's not hemorrhaging. So she won't let her.
Oh. What's your name?
Taylor Parker.
Taylor? Hey, my name's Chad Dansby. I'm a OSBI agent up here, and I heard you brought your baby in.
Yes, sir.
What the? Did you give birth on the side of the road or something?
Yes, sir.
So what happened this morning? Did you just go into labor on the side of the road?
No, man. I was supposed to ride with my fiance, and we sell, we own a hog buying facility, and we were gonna come through here, but I was having contractions and stuff and wasn't feeling good, so I stayed at home and told him we would just meet here after he dropped the hogs at 7.
My first note, the first thing I noticed, one, the second officer, his posture is just kind of like relaxed, like they already know the story in a sense. At this point, they had already been brought up to speed of what's going on. Another 911 center received a phone call, that horrid phone call from the mother of Reagan, who told the paramedics and the police that were there, hey, she's pregnant. She's 36 weeks pregnant. Can you check?
Yeah.
She already, go ahead.
We know that a baby's missing. That was the case down in Texas, is that a baby's been taken. That's extremely unusual.
Yeah.
You're going to have a bolo for the baby right away, because the baby you're hoping is still alive, that you could save.
Right.
And now you got this case of this woman showing up with a baby. Just the fact that you're having 2 high priority baby calls in a day close together, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure this out, Drew.
Or yeah, an OBGYN even. But so they put a lot of the hospitals in the area on alert, and this is the result. So they're all able to kind of put 2 and 2 together. This is the crime scene here. This is the suspect here. Now, my immediate reaction to her is, well, first of all, look at her face. It's frozen. It's like in the same, it's not necessarily in a sad, like, or just like uncontrollably sobbing because she just lost a baby. She's just having this conversation and is kind of like curious as to why this officer's asking her questions. Like it's not a big deal or something. The second officer's in there, and he just kind of got this posture like, we're just going to let her talk because we know what happened.
She knows she's in trouble. Taylor is somebody who's a consummate liar. She gets in trouble for lying all the time.
Right.
Her whole life is based on lies, and she knows when the cops show up that she's got to she's already on the defensive. She's got to find some way of getting out of this. But what story are you going to come up with that's going to get you to walk out of this hospital room? Go ahead.
Well, but she lives a life of manipulation. She's, she lives this life of juggling lies, and she's really, really good at it somehow.
She thinks she's going to be able to pour on the tears or the confusion, and then like she can just talk her way out of it.
Okay, so we're going to continue.
It's going to be up front with you. I've been talking to the DA down in Bowie County, and they've been working on a case down there. And we know that you had a hysterectomy some time back, and that you claimed to be pregnant for a while, but that you really weren't. So we're trying to figure out where this baby came from. But you didn't give birth this morning.
What do you mean?
Okay. I've said this 100 times before. Hopefully some of you remember this. I don't blame you if you don't. You are your own measuring stick. Okay, so if you float a theory, if I floated this theory to John, if John is the one in the hospital that's just had this baby, and I floated this theory to John, we know you didn't have this baby. I would expect John to come out of the bed and attack me like, you better take those words back, or some kind of reaction. There'd be a reaction like, are you effing kidding me? I just gave birth to a baby and it's dead, and now you're hitting me with this. Something. There'd be a reaction. There'd be something. But her reaction is, as we've talked about before, fight, flight, freeze. She froze. She froze for about 2 or 3 seconds and then started stumbling over her words. What do you mean? Like,
right.
What do you think I mean? Yeah. I just said that we don't know where this baby came from, and we know you can't have babies.
Her attitude should be the hell I didn't, the pain that I just went through. I mean,
yes.
It would be as simple as that. And she would be on some kind of drugs. She's on a saline drip there or something. But they're not giving her anything. They have no reason to.
Right. And if she carried this baby to term, it's like, 10 months or, 9 months or 10 months in total of carrying a baby. And then you give birth on the way to the hospital. This is not the look of shock here.
Only a child would think that you could actually pull this off. What kind of adult thinks that you could trick other people into thinking you're in a hospital?
Right.
Like, this isn't your stupid friends on Facebook who are going to click like on your fake pregnancy pictures. These are doctors.
That's what I just said. You didn't give birth this morning. And we want to know where this baby came from. So what happened?
I just told y'all what happened.
Okay. What's the doctor going to find when he comes in and checks you? Is he going to find you just gave birth? They can tell. When he looks, he can tell in about a second if you gave birth or not.
Oh, okay.
So is he going to find that you gave birth this morning?
Yes.
Okay.
She couldn't even look him in the face. So he's saying, is he going to be able to tell that you gave birth this morning? And she says, yes. It looks back at him. She can't look him in the face.
He'll be here. But the information I've got is you've had a hysterectomy in the past, and if you had a hysterectomy, you can't be pregnant. And you came into a hospital with a newborn. We want to know where this newborn came from.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so this is another common trait with Taylor here. You'll see it with the trooper. You see it here with the detective. She says the word partially, then she says the word fully. That to me is a tell that she's, whatever's next is lying, or that she's in the process of lying. This is acting. Okay. It's not, it's forced. Like it's not like okay, like she's flustered. It's a forced 2-syllable or 4-syllable okay. John, do you have anything?
No, go for it.
So you still saying it came from you?
Yes.
Okay. Because we can do DNA on it and be able to tell pretty quick. It won't take long at all.
They have the placenta.
Okay.
So you gave birth to this child?
Yes.
She's like a child who's just got caught. She's got the crumbs around her mouth. Who ate all the cookies? Wasn't me. Doesn't matter that we know right away. Doesn't matter that we can figure it out. She's still saying yes. Like, where does she think this is going to go? Like, we're just going to leave? Drew, go ahead.
Yeah, this is panic. This is a picture of the gopher digging in the hole to try to hide. That's what her brain is doing right now. It's trying to find the story. It's trying to figure out what, like, I don't think she anticipated this part. Like, what am I going to do when the OSBI trooper or detective is sitting right across from me? By the way, he introduced himself. He built a rapport with her, spent a minute or two building a rapport, told her, look, I've been doing this for close to 3 decades, 2.5 decades. I've been investigating deaths. That's what I do. That's all I do. So she has to know she's up against major league pitching here. Like, she thinks probably that she's going to be able to lie her way out of it because she has literally faked a pregnancy for 9 months. She's fooled her husband, the person that lived with her, and her family. Probably some of her family members were skeptical. I don't know. It didn't appear that way in the documentary, but she's now up against this major league pitching, and her mind is probably freaking out right now. Like, look at her. She's still frozen with that stupid look on her face of bewilderment. Like, John, if you had just, God forbid, lost a child, there'd be no, like, just crying. It would be just like indescribable, inconsolable tears and just like exhaustion and think of, and ladies, don't attack me for this, think of the hormones that are released during a pregnancy, especially right after you give birth, which would affect the emotion even stronger. Like,
she would be wailing. You would not be able to hear no other patient in there could conduct business in the emergency room. They would be giving her something to put her to sleep, to calm her down. That's the state that she would be in. But right now, she is very easy to read, even for someone like me. She is only concerned about herself and how she thought she was going to come into this clinic and get discharged, in a couple hours? I have no idea. Go ahead, Drew.
I do see somebody in the comments that, and thank you, Tans, that said the fiance, not husband. So she fooled her fiance. They weren't married yet. That's true. I forgot about that.
found a woman this morning on the side of the road, and her baby had been removed from her body. And then you show up with a baby, and the information is you've had a hysterectomy. There's no way you could have been pregnant. Even though you've been telling people for a while you've been pregnant. There's no way you could have been pregnant. And
I didn't hurt anybody on the side of the road.
Okay, that's a true statement. I didn't hurt anybody on the side
Yeah,
of the road.
she's ready to offer up something that she thinks is exonerating. I didn't hurt anyone on the side of the road. I think he might have this detail wrong or whatever, but yeah.
He does. I can. Here's how I picture that going. They're giving him a briefing, a minute. They're trying to catch him up to speed, and they're trying to describe the fact that she was pulled over on the side of the road when the trooper got behind her, or when the trooper pulled her over.
Yep.
And he thinks that he somehow conflated that's where the murder victim was, because that's where the baby was.
And now she's remembering, like, she's confused, like, well, who the hell dragged this corpse that I left behind outside? Who tried to move this body? She's genuinely confused here because he got something wrong.
Yeah.
But it's a big tell.
Right.
I'm just saying that there's a woman that had her baby removed from her body. Her body's found on the side of the road. I didn't say you did. I just want to know what happened, where this baby came from.
Who is the lady? Do you know who she is?
I don't know what lady you're talking about.
Okay.
The power of that pregnant pause. No pun intended. A lot of P's there. But there was just this extended pause. And it's just to let everybody feel the gravity of the statements that are being made, and let her dig herself a deeper hole. And she's looking for more fodder to give an answer to try to manipulate them, and they're not giving it to her. And let me tell you why this guy is so seasoned about this. If you think about the heinousness of this crime, how horrible it is. She took a scalpel, cut, made her own C-section incision, removed a fetus, grabbed this baby, left the woman to die, and then drove to a hospital to try to claim this baby as her own. And now she's sitting in your face trying to tell you that you're crazy for thinking that, anybody else had this baby but her. Zero effect on his composure, zero effect on his blood pressure. He's done this enough that he probably wants to jump through that gurney and just, choke her to death, I'm sure, because of how horrible this case is. But at the same time, he just wants to sit and have this conversation. His goal is, let me get the truth. Let me get the full story out of this girl. And you'll see he offers up things, he tries to empathize with her even at points, but we'll see what happens.
Here's that pause. You just let it play, Drew, because he says, what are we going to find out when the doctor gets in here? So there's no reason to argue. There's no reason to go on. We know the truth is going to have its day as soon as this doctor comes in here. So just let her sit here. And silences can be very effective for interrogating people because it compels them to speak, to fill things. And this is what you call a 20-pound silence. And he's got his arms crossed, and she can't look in his direction right now. And they're just going to wait for the doctor here.
So it becomes a good old-fashioned standoff, and the detective is letting her know, we're not leaving. I mean, I don't know what you want to do here, but we're not going anywhere. We're not leaving, so
we're not satisfied by your fake answers, Taylor. We're going to wait for the doctor to come in here, tell us what we already know, that you've had a hysterectomy, that you can't have a baby, and you're lying.
It doesn't look like she had a baby.
It doesn't?
No.
Okay.
Does not look like she had a baby there.
Okay, an important statement from the ER doc, who can tell because there was no hemorrhaging. They, closed the curtain. He brought nurses in. They did a whole, exam, and he's like, no, she didn't have a baby. Saying it loud enough for her to hear, and of course now the detectives re-enter the room.
Hey, Taylor. So what happened?
Yes, sir.
You didn't give birth.
This is her first. Yeah.
That means it's not your baby. So what happened? I told you, Taylor, this is my first rodeo. I've been doing this for 27 years. Over death cases. I know. Sometimes, you know, there's some people that do stuff just because they're very evil people. They're bad people. I've dealt with them. I've dealt with them my whole life. Cold-blooded murderers, serial killers, all of it. And I've done it. And here's the thing. You seem like a nice person. I think you may be a little bit confused about some things, and I get that. You know, the problem with cases, death cases especially, people automatically assume the worst. Okay, you know how it is. When people read the newspapers and stuff, they just see a certain amount of facts and they automatically assume the worst. And essentially, what we have is we have a dead woman down in Texas, and you took the baby out of her. Just caused her to die. And my question is Taylor a cold-blooded murderer? Or is it something else? I mean, sometimes people have, they go through depression and, some mental issues and things. Causes good people to make bad choices, right? And that's kind of where I'm here at today. I knew that doctor wasn't going to find anything. I already know a lot of things I ask. I already know the answer to before I ask. But one thing I'm trying to figure out is why did this happen? What was going on? Is it something like maybe you're going through some depression, maybe you're going through some some emotional things, and just for whatever reason, made some bad choices, right? Or is it because you set some woman up, targeted her to kill her and steal a baby?
Drew, this is just so ironic because he's trying to get her to save face. He's trying to give her an out. She's so childish in her lies. She won't just come out with it when confronted by the truth. The doctor says you didn't give birth to this baby. Whose baby is this? Okay. She's already been directly confronted with it, and now she's just, she won't say anything. So he's trying to give her an out, and the out is this. We don't want everyone to think that you're evil, Taylor. You made a mistake. You're a good person. Something's wrong with you. Something's happening to you that made you do something that doesn't represent you. So we want you to have your say. We want you to be able to tell it like it is so that people don't think the worst thing about you. The worst thing about her is true. She cut a woman to ribbons and she took the baby out of her body. And so there is no way for her to save face. So what happens over the course of this really expert hour and a half that Special Agent Chad Dansby interviews her is that he realizes he cannot get her to just come out and confess to being evil. Because at this point, that's what she has to say. Yeah, I did this. I'm pretty much the worst person you've ever met in your 30-year career, Agent Dansby. So he's got to have her make 10,000 little concessions so that the story changes one little beat at a time, one little acceptable turn at a time. She can confess to one little thing at a time until the story changes from the complete lie to a version of the truth. Drew, go ahead.
There's also, so we understand, the body cam that's being recorded is a female officer, agent, maybe. So there's a female in the room with them. There's a second agent off to the side, another male. But so there's actually three in there. But it's important to know that there's a female in the room with them. So, there's no, there can't be any allegation later on in life. And she's there to serve as you're not going to get one past me because we have a female standing right here. She could throw female things at the male detective that he might have to check with somebody on. Drew, but that's already done.
What's the advantage of just going ahead and doing this now? I mean, she could get medically cleared for discharge because she's in no medical danger. Nothing happened to her medically today. What's the advantage of doing it here in the doctor's office versus just detaining her and taking her down to the station or an office building or even sitting out in a car? What's the advantage of doing it here? Because there's so much noise and so much distraction, people coming and going. I would think it's not an ideal environment to do an interview like this.
Well, the first thing you want to do is lock her into a story anyway. So I don't think that there is any greater motivation or any better way to get an admission on your way to a confession than to have the prop of the ER doc who comes in and says, yep, she didn't have a baby. I know that for a fact. We've run tests. We know the placenta's not hers. I just checked she's not hemorrhaging. She didn't have a baby. Go ahead, detective. And I think that that's like a strike while the iron's hot situation.
Feels like a handoff of expertise working together. You know, he was confrontational. He just said, doesn't look like she had a baby. And then it's almost like he tagged the detectives back into the ring to continue to go at her.
Yeah, and on top of that, like if there are medical questions that come up in the process of interviewing her, they have a resource right there. I mean, she was brought into the hospital. She's not going anywhere. Like they've already made the determination that she's not free to leave and all of that. But she's they're still in communication with the district attorney's office at the scene because that's where the crime technically happened. There are probably more than one crimes that may have happened over two different jurisdictions, actually, because of the baby dying in the hospital. But essentially, like I would think the main murder case would be the focus.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. I tell you, most of the people are going to assume the worst. They're going to assume you're an evil person and that you just butchered this lady and left her to rot on the side of the road so you steal her baby. I don't think that was the case. I mean, you don't seem like that type of person, man.
I didn't kill anybody.
Where'd this baby come from? We're past all of that. Taylor, we're past that.
I did not kill anybody. I didn't kill anybody.
So was she alive when you left?
I wasn't with her.
So that's an important admission. This is what I'm saying, like on the road to confession, you have to start with an admission somewhere. And her saying, and Taylor saying, I wasn't with her. You know, she kept saying, I wasn't with anybody. I wasn't with anybody. Then finally she says, I wasn't with her. She now knows that there's a mother involved. This is the admission kind of that opens the door. His negotiation tactic is like, if you want $1 million contract, you don't start at $10. And he's trying to say, Taylor, we're way past that. We're already at now it's just a matter of 1 million or 2 million. You know, essentially, I'm just trying to put it in layman's terms. So in the negotiation, he's like, we're already past that. There's no regressing past the million.
Drew, we had a question from the audience. I think it's a decent question. Miranda. Now, we know on TV and movies, they go in there and they immediately say it right away for dramatic effect. The law says that if someone is in custody, a custodial situation, you said she's not free to leave, and they're asking her about questions related to the crime that she's suspected of, does she need to be Mirandized? Has she been Mirandized? How does this work? It's possible that the officer already did this before Dansby got there. Go ahead.
Yeah, the truth is I don't know the answer to that question because it was one of the first things I looked for in the documentary. The Miranda is required when you have somebody in custody, which she would qualify for.
Yep.
You are interrogating her, meaning you're asking guilt-seeking questions. She would qualify for that. Then she has two obligations. You have to get her to prove that she understands the waiver and that she waives. She actually waives the right to remain silent. I don't know if the Miranda warnings were read prior to her getting there. I don't know if they were read on the side of the road. I pray that they were. I know that it turned out in court where it became, the trial itself became, this was never a question about whether or not she did it. This was a trial about whether or not she was going to get the death penalty for what she did.
Right.
But so I don't know that they ever suppressed or that they suppressed her interviews or anything like that, which would be classic. If they didn't Mirandize her properly, anything she says, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, but you have to be warned of that.
Right.
And you have to be aware of that. And there's also this factor, John, of her being in a hospital under sedation, if she's under sedation, and all these other things that, you know, a conniving defense attorney is going to bring into the picture to try to cloud the issue. I don't know that you're going to find an ethical defense attorney that's willing to defend the behavior, other than to make sure that, you know, all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed.
Give her an ardent representation, which is what she deserves under the Constitution.
Sure.
Here's where we're at, Taylor, and I'm just going to be brutally honest. Okay? Right now, the DA down there who I've talked to believes that you're a cold-blooded killer and that you plotted for the last 8 months to murder this woman and steal her baby.
That's what makes it first degree.
And right now, the evidence is there. They can prove it without a shadow of a doubt that that's what happened. They can prove that you murdered that woman and that you're a cold-blooded murderer. How heinous is it? Some woman, you know, everybody's happy, they're having showers, and then somebody comes along and cuts her damn baby out of her gut. That's what we got right now, and that's what you need to understand. That's the point where we're at. We're past all this nonsense about, I wasn't there, I didn't kill nobody. We're past all of that. We know it. We know you did it. There's no doubt whatsoever. And the only thing I'm giving you a chance, because like I said, you seem kind of confused, like maybe you've been going through some depression or something, or maybe you took some medication or something that you know, like I said, that made a good person make bad choices. I don't know. These cases are actually pretty simple. Murder cases are pretty simple. You got who, what, when, where, and why. Okay? And it's like a big old puzzle. You know, you ever put puzzles together when you're a kid? You got these little pieces of evidence, all these little pieces, and you put them all together and they make a picture of what happened. The only thing that the evidence doesn't show is why this happened. Okay? We know what happened. We know who happened. We know all of those. But we just don't know why.
I love this guy's style. I do this. I used to teach the exact same thing. Paint a picture for them. And he painted his picture by saying, look, it's the who, what, when, where, why. And it's a puzzle just like you had when you were a little kid. So now she's thinking back. She's thinking back when she was a little kid and she's thinking about puzzles. It's divided attention. And he's saying, there's only one piece missing in this puzzle. And she's picturing it. And she's thinking, what's the piece? And he's like, the how or the why. And, you know, there are a million phrases or stories or however you want to call whatever you want to call them that I used to use, triggers basically, that I used to use just like this, just to keep a picture painted in their head. So it keeps them from running through a new story or regressing, and it also like focuses them on something. I don't even know if I'm making sense here. If you're able to paint a picture for them, it gives them something to envision, and it also gives them something to strive for. So if, for instance, if I say, John, I know you're in deep trouble here and I'm trying to help you, I'm doing the best I can, and all I want to do is throw this donut out to you, this life raft or this life preserver.
I'm here to help it make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to throw you this life preserver, but the current's starting to take you away, and you're getting a little bit farther away from me every time we talk, and every time you're floating by. And I know you just want to grab this life preserver, because if you grab the life preserver, I can pull you into the bank. And when you're at the bank, you're safe. I can get a blanket, I can put it around you, and so you're just completely, painting the picture is what I'm, it's what I've said a million times now. So we'll keep going.
That's the point I'm trying to explain to you is people in general automatically assume the worst. They always do. In this case, the worst is that Taylor's a cold-blooded murderer who stole a woman's baby from her. Okay? That's what the evidence looks like right now. And that's why I didn't have to come talk to you. I really didn't. I mean, if I was like some people, just said, hey, She's a cold-blooded killer. Just arrest her. Cold-blooded key, right? But no. After talking to you for a few minutes, and my thinking, because like I said, I've done this for a long time. I thought, this girl's kind of, I think she might be going through some depression or something, or maybe took some medicine or something, because she seems like a good person. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. She explains things.
So he gives her a second to absorb everything that he just said. This is kind of like, this is another tactic where you can lay out a whole monologue, so to speak. And even if they try to interrupt you, you just hang on, let me finish. And you just lay out this whole thing. It's a confrontation. You're just giving them the whole story so they can see you've put the picture together. You've already put the whole, everything together on this. Guys, I want you to stick around to make sure that you watch the end of this, because it's kind of crazy. One, two, if you like what you see, why don't you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already? And also, we have plenty more content like this, so we'd appreciate if you watched our back catalog. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, he says at one point, he says, I'm actually asking questions that I already know the answer to. So you might as well just come out. It's all to your benefit. I'm here to help people understand why you would do something like this. We both know it was awful, but tell me something. Tell me anything that's going to make this, to help the public understand that you're not evil. I'm going to play it, Drew.
It makes people not, say and do things that aren't, aren't characteristic of them. So what happened? What happened, David? Why did this happen? Did you mean to hurt the woman? You didn't mean to hurt her? Are you sad she's dead? Is it the deal you just wanted a baby so bad that it just kind of overpowered your brain and everything?
My head's been hurting.
Your head's been hurting?
I had a stroke in 2015.
Okay.
Is that even true?
Yeah, I think it was true. She feigned a stroke or she had a stroke, but she started, like her childhood friends noticed that she started becoming the attention getter on social media. She's always in the hospital. She's always had a stroke. She's always, she wanted to be the center of attention. And that was an important admission she made, like, my head's hurting. So
yeah,
he knows he's got progress now. He's in.
It's the first step in a long series of steps towards admission. And now that she's got this tentative narrative, I have strokes, my head's been hurting. It's an altered level of consciousness, altered state of mind defense. And he pushed this by saying, are you sad she's dead? Do you even feel remorse? She knew she had to leap on that, because if she doesn't feel remorse, then she couldn't have been responsible for this. But if she was responsible for this and doesn't show remorse, then she's the worst thing. So she's got to pick something. She's either sorry or she might be responsible.
So this is also what we mean, John, when we talk about locking them into a story. So she's saying, I had strokes, headaches, kind of crazy, I know. But, even if she's stuck with that from here on out, like, I'm not talking to you anymore. If he needed to, he can investigate around the fact that she had strokes, or, he could figure out if that, if this was a cause of what made her do what she did. But this was an important admission.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about, It gives me something to explain to them. Help them understand what they're seeing and why they're seeing what they're seeing. You see what I'm saying? So what happened today? How did this all come about? When did you first see the woman today?
She checked on me.
Is she a friend of yours? Okay. So did she come to your house?
She told me to come over.
Oh, so you went to her house? Okay. What happened then?
Don't really remember.
Yeah, come on now. Yeah, you do.
Push her.
Remember I was saying a minute ago, this is the negotiation where you're at the million and all that. There's no turning back for her now. So
earlier she said she had seen no woman. What are you talking about? It's my baby. And now she's like, she checked on me. She told me to come over. So now
she's the one that told me to come over. Yeah.
Right.
So we're at 1.5 million now. You know what I'm saying? She can't go back down to 1 million. She's already admitted it. She's already said she's the one that told me to come over. She's now putting herself in the house.
Yeah. So we don't have to get a complete narrative of what she did. We already have guilty knowledge. She admitted to being in that house. And if we just continue to get her to make admissions of being there, that tie her to the scene stuff, it doesn't have to be a truthful narrative. There just has to be enough truth to go with the physical evidence, the rest of these puzzle pieces to put her away. Go ahead, Drew.
Right.
So what happened? You go over to her house and what happened?
I remember pulling up.
Did you go inside?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you talk very long, or did she say something to you to make you mad or something, or what happened?
It's another thing I want to point out too, John. I told you that his blood pressure never goes above 120 over 80. Even when he's got that admission, even when she's walking down the trail of, she's headed to confession. The goal never really is a confession. The goal is to get a full, truthful story. Right. If it happens to include confessions. In fact, you should never take the first confession as the full story.
You have to commend him, because if I'm this guy and I just got told this crazy story from a DA down in Texas about this case, which is going to be one I remember for the rest of my life, if she's talking to me and she's making admissions, I would be so pumped and I would be so excited that I would be in a rush to the conclusion. Yeah. I would feel like I want to just tell me you did it, Taylor. I would be so excited. But he is so calm, and he knows that the pace he's at is already so fast. He's going to have this case broken in no time. Go ahead. Oh.
Okay. She grabbed hold of you, and did you try to fight back? You both fought back? Yeah. Okay. And then what happened?
Little truth's coming out. I know Reagan called her a liar.
She did her head on the table.
She did her head on the table. Okay.
This is important because now she put herself there when she was injured. Doesn't matter at this point how she was injured, like that'll come later. But this is the difference between an admission and a confession. This is an admission saying, I was there when she hit her head on the table.
When she got hurt, yeah.
When she got hurt.
That's okay. Hey, good. Stuff happens sometimes, you know. Stuff happens. It's all right. So what happened then? It happens sometimes. It does. Well, I mean, people have strokes and things. Yeah, they can. They sure can. So did you put her in the car? Did you put her in your vehicle at that point?
No.
Okay. How did she get out on the road out there? They said they found her on the side of the road.
Again, that really confuses her. Because
He didn't move her.
he didn't move her.
House. Okay.
Great admission.
Yeah, that's excellent. It's it also gets her thinking, well, it would be great if she said something like, no, she never got up once I she hit her head. I know she didn't walk outside. I know you're lying because she wasn't able to walk
right. And for those of you who don't know, that's not how Reagan died. She didn't die from hitting her head on a table. That's a complete lie. Like Drew says, it's an admission. Reagan's admitting that she took action, that she shoved Reagan, that she performed actions that were the proximate cause of her death, but she's not ready to admit yet that she savagely stabbed this woman, I think, over 100 times.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
she, when she hit her head, did you think she died and you were just trying to save the baby?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I really wanted the baby.
I understand that. That's okay. Well, and that shows what a good person you are.
So when he's saying things like this, this is hard for me to convey because I always get lambasted in the comments. I don't care. I know where I stand in life. I know where I stand with St. Peter, and I know where this guy stands. When you identify with people, when you're interviewing with them like that, you're not making a moral justification for what they did. You're just you're a side show. You're just part of the conversation, and you're trying to get it out of them, no matter what it takes, in honor of the dead person, in honor of the murdered victim and the baby.
This is gamesmanship. He's playing a psychological game. He's got to outsmart her, which is luckily for him very easy to do. The other thing is that if he's reaching any part of him that's actually empathetic towards her, you can understand someone's behavior without condoning it. It's possible. He probably walked in here thinking there's possible that this is a 1 in a million psychological case, that she is having some kind of profound psychological problem. He entertained the idea that she might be under the influence of drugs, something that would make this not the most immorally egregious case ever. So he's ready to understand what she has to say without condoning it. And you could do that as an investigator, and you have to. And guys, this is just gamesmanship. If it's not like on Law and Order and on TV where you go in there and you slam your hands down and you get all aggressive, you've got to make her feel comfortable to talk.
Yeah.
Because if she
really
shuts up or says, I want a lawyer, or I don't want to talk to you anymore, they have to leave.
It's over. And remember too, like,
will make her talk. Go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, and remember also, this is your one shot. Like, if you know this is the defendant, this is your one shot. You're only going to have one shot to prosecute her. You're only going to have one shot to interview her. Essentially, I mean, she might cooperate or speak through her attorney or whatever, but this is your one shot. So you got to do whatever you can to make her comfortable enough to trust you or whatever. And he's not going to raise his voice. He's not going to judge her. He's a seasoned professional. He's doing really well at it. But I could see where people are like, oh, what a sick bastard. Like he really sees it. What would you rather have? Like hand her a blank sheet of paper and tell her, write down what happened? Or if you gave her a multiple choice, were you on drugs? Are you crazy from your stroke? Is it because that you just wanted the baby? And she picks one of those. Well, we got an admission now, and we're walking towards a confession.
He's just you with a southern accent.
Basically.
Do what?
Okay. I tried to save her. She's not crying. It's hard to judge people's tears, but this is not she wouldn't be able to speak if she were like remorseful or trying to let something out. If this were a purgation of emotion, if she was purging everything that was in her soul to get this, to wash herself of, absolve herself of this, to like confess her sin, essentially. Do you think that you'd be able to understand a word she's saying?
No, and you also don't have to absolve yourself of the sin of being heroic and trying to save someone. The fact that we're already on story D and it's something heroic is how you know it's not the truth. If this was a misunderstanding, but the truth is that she had tried to save this woman, that would have been the first story that we heard.
Yeah, because here's the other part of this too, John. We can always go back. We have the negotiation where she's walking down the path, but you can always go back and start filling in details such as, okay, Taylor, tell me why when she hit her head on the table, you didn't pick up the phone and dial 911. She's never going to be able to recover from this, but just keep walking her down the road. He's just holding the reins and walking with her slowly. It's really good.
I understand. I mean, that's obvious. You called the ambulance, So she hit her head, and so you tried to save the baby. So did you? I guess you got the baby out of it. You like a C-section on it. You don't remember. So how did you go from her laying there with her head hit to you having the baby in your hand?
Just remember safe and baby.
Do you remember if you, do you remember if you used a knife that was from her house, or did you have one already? Because you had to get, the baby had to come out of her, right? So how'd that happen?
I love this discussion of the murder weapon as a surgical tool.
You don't remember what you got? Or a razor blade or anything like that?
No, there's a knife in my purse, but
You didn't use that one?
no, that's not in me.
Oh, okay. All right. It's just you and her. So you went by yourself, and as far as you knew, she was there by herself?
Okay, this is the saddest part of the story if you don't know the documentary. The mother showed up at the house first, opened the door, saw the daughter, called 911, and gave this horrendous account of what she's seeing. The father showed up. The mother said, don't go in there. There was a family friend with the father. They came up with two conclusions. The two of them, or three of them out there, came up with two conclusions. One, she's pregnant, so we need to let the police and the paramedics know, because they were already like, this is a crime scene. This isn't a rescue operation. Second was, it was before their arrival, though. Let me back up. Before their arrival, they determined that the other kid was still in the house, the 3-year-old that belonged to Reagan. So the grandfather, the victim's dad, yelled, "Are you back there?" or whatever. He looks down, he sees, oh my God. He hears the kid say, "Yeah, I'm back here." He can't bring himself to step over the murder victim, his daughter. He can't do it. He can't bring himself to do it, but he knows he has to save this. So can you imagine the tremendous burden on this mother and father at that moment that is happening in real time?
No, I can't imagine. You can't handle that, and you're trying to work out the simple logistics of getting the little girl out of there without her seeing more. What she's 3, so she can't follow directions. If this was a 10-year-old, you could say, "Hey, sweetheart, can you walk out the back door and I'll meet you outside?"
Right.
You're trying to talk her out without seeing something that's going to warp her for the rest of her life.
Yeah. So the family, the end of the ending part of that is the family friend took one for the team. I don't know if he's a relative but he kind of took one for the team.
That's heroic.
It's beyond heroic, because he even described the recovery. Like, he said that he walked into the bedroom, the little kid was like hiding under the blankets, and he said, "Are you okay? It's me." And she knew him, and he said she just leapt out of the bed into his arms. So obviously she'd been through a lot, and then he was able to whisk her away to safety, basically, without having her see anything, I hope, but I don't know. I don't know if they went through a different door or what, but that's just another sad side note of this story.
You never saw anybody else there? Okay, so she hits her head, and then you decide to try to save the baby. If I understand you right, and there was blood. Did you stick her with the knife? Or was
No, she fell with the knife because I shoved her.
Okay, so she get the knife back from you?
We both had it in our hands a few times.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to get it right in my head, you know what I mean? So.
Because she stuck me first.
Okay, this is where you just let her keep talking, because she's saying, no, she stuck me first and all this other stuff. Where are your injuries?
Yeah.
But I don't remember why she kept calling me.
I think she realized at that moment that she's not going to be able to sell the drama that she was stabbed. And she switched the subject to, she kept calling me
liar. Why?
What was she calling you? You like still calling you a liar, or just still calling you something else?
She told me that I was gonna rot and that she'd kill me if I touched her again.
If only.
Was this before y'all started fighting or after?
This was during
During the
it
fight? Okay.
because she went in the kitchen and grabbed the drawer and there was stuff in it because I remember it rattling.
She wouldn't come out, but she was wanting you to take her. Okay. So she asked you to take her. That's okay. Hey, listen, that's all right. I mean, you're thinking of the kid's best interest, you know. So what happened? Did you use the knife that was there, or did you have to go get one?
I took her out, but I don't know what I had.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Do you remember cutting her open to get the baby out? Did you have much trouble getting it up, cutting her open? You did? Okay. That's fine.
That's a gruesome detail.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
that she had no problem.
So she's wanting you to save the baby.
Said she was dying.
She said she was dying. Okay, that's okay. So you take the baby, but you don't remember what with, right? I'm understand. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, I don't remember.
That's fine. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. So you take the baby out of her stomach.
You know, if he was not being so reassuring that that's fine. That's fine. These things happen. I understand. If he was not being so reassuring, she would claim up immediately because this story is gruesome and no one would be able to tell it. So guys, this is gamesmanship. He is disgusted with her. And he's just doing this so that she'll keep giving him enough rope to hang her with.
Is that right?
It fell out like she was pushing, and it come out.
Come out of her vagina?
No.
Or out of her stomach? Okay. All right.
She was still in the sack.
Oh, okay. All right. So it comes out of her stomach and it's still in the sack. Did you have to pull the sack apart to get the baby out?
Yeah, I had to pull it open and turned her over and started smacking her back. And she.
Okay. So then, so you get the baby out. You're saving the baby. All right. And then you leave. Right? Did you call for an ambulance? Or was you going to the hospital to try to get some help for the baby? Okay. So you don't really know her that well, then, do you? Okay. How do you know her?
I did something for her.
Oh, you did something for her? What'd you do? Like work time? Okay. What'd you do for her? Oh, photography? Oh, okay. Wade said that you've been telling him you were pregnant for a while, for the last 8 months. Why have you been telling Wade you were pregnant? Did you feel movement? Made you think you were pregnant? But now you had a hysterectomy though at one point, didn't you? A partial hysterectomy.
It was revealed that she went online and purchased a couple things. John, you want to talk about them?
Apparently there's a website you can go to where you can just go and you can buy positive pregnancy tests. You can buy fake bellies and pretty much anything else you need in order to go to your man, whoever it is that you have had relations with, and you could fake a pregnancy. There's a whole market for this. You could just go and buy this stuff. But even that is only half the story of how depraved Taylor is. Not only did she conceive of this idea that she's going to fake a pregnancy for 8 months and buy these things and have them delivered to her house, but obviously Wade has not seen her naked at any point in the last 8 months because this thing is a silicone baby bump under her shirt. She's obviously having to hide a lot about her personal life from her fiance. I guess they're chaste because, at no point has he seen her in the last 8 months. And I think that's part of the reason why Wade was willing to give her up so quickly, because Wade knows that she's full of shit. Wade has said as well that, at no point in the relationship was she in love with him. But there's pictures of them together where she is sporting a baby bump and Wade is there. And what must he thought of that? If it had occurred to him that this is all fake, then what are these photos? And if this is a fake pregnancy, Wade, and this is the kind of woman that you're dating, why are you in a photo with her? Wade's someone I'm not condemning. Wade is someone I don't understand.
Yeah, it hit him like a ton of bricks. I saw his the very brief interview they did with him where they broke the news to him essentially, and his reaction was along the lines of, "I should have believed my family. My family's been trying to tell me all along that this is crazy. This is like that she's a liar. She's a horrible liar, and I just didn't want to believe it." She, to account for some of these like nudity issues, and she would proclaim that she had image issues and that she was afraid for him to see her, so she would go lock herself in the bathroom and, you know, groom herself or do whatever she was going to do. This baby thing that she had, this prosthetic baby bump, I think was mechanical. I think there was a mechanical element to it because people felt the baby, like she made them, here, feel my stomach. She also searched for and purchased sonogram photographs, and it appears that she was all along following Reagan's pregnancy.
Yep.
So she was like, you know, at this 16 weeks, 30 week, you know, that kind of thing. So
she thought of this 8 months ago when she saw that, you know, Reagan, this friend that she had from doing her wedding photos, when she saw that she was pregnant, she was jealous of that, and she wanted that for herself, and she coveted that baby in the most insane, I don't want to say insane because that kind of like diminishes her capacity, in the most disgusting way. She said, I want what she has for myself, and she set out to take it. Every day she was advancing this plan to stalk this woman and find her. And the day she was supposed to deliver the baby, there was a bomb threat at the hospital. There's all this other stuff because stuff was going wrong. Like, this woman is probably guilty of some terroristic crimes because it was all to come up with a reason why Wade could not accompany her to the hospital. It had to be this alternate scenario in which she was driving on the road to go to the doctor, and then it had to happen out on the road.
Road work up on you right now. Just make sure that's going on, okay? Just want to let you know.
I didn't ask you that.
You got it.
What'd you say? I didn't understand you. I'm sorry. What happened to you, or what's going to happen to you? What do you mean?
Something's wrong with me.
yeah, no shit.
Need to figure that out, don't we?
Is that not the most disgusting turn of phrase? Like, what happened to me?
Yeah, she didn't care about that baby. She doesn't care about Reagan. She doesn't care about the 2 lives that she destroyed, the family that she laid waste. She doesn't care about Wade. She doesn't care about her own family, being separated from her own children, the prospect of jail. She wants to know what's going to happen to her now. And Dansby leaves, and the female officer who's recording all this goes over and shows her some more sympathy to continue to get her to talk. She says, do you want to talk to me about what's happening? And she just like, my head hurts. Can I have something for my head? And so the officer gets up and says, I'll ask him, you know, knowing full what's going to happen. The police lieutenant's outside. He goes, take her to jail. Go to jail. And she comes back inside to get ready to tell Taylor she's getting ready to go. And Taylor's like, I'm worried that y'all are going to hurt me. And the officer's like, oh, no, we're not going to hurt you. And I just saw a spitting newspaper, fake pregnant woman sentenced to death. We're getting around to it, Taylor. We're going to avenge Reagan and Braxlyn Sage, the little girl that you stole from a promising life, and the families that you destroyed. And she has no shame. She says that originally she wanted her innocence to come out, her innocent side to be known. And now she says, well, maybe prison's the best place for me because she knows that she has nothing for her there. She's having a good time in prison. She's having many female relations there, and she's currently searching for a sugar daddy to help her live her best life on death row in Texas. Drew, it's a disgusting case. It's hard to confront evil. It's something that you no doubt had to do a lot as a detective and a police officer for 29 years. It's something that I have to do occasionally as a real 911 dispatcher, but I really appreciate you breaking that down. Of course, you taught you would teach people how to do interviews and interrogations. So you're the master, and it was a great thing to watch Special Agent Chad Dansby work, because he's a hero. A lot of people heroically did their jobs to the best of their ability to make sure that a monster like Taylor could never prey on another innocent pregnant woman again. Because Taylor Parker will prey on anybody if she will stalk for 8 months a person who she has friendly relationship with, and intend to do the most unimaginable violence to her in front of another child. She cares nothing for anyone else but herself, and I'm glad that she is out of prison. And I only pray for the correctional officers that have to see her every day for the rest of their careers, and the amount of time that it will take for Texas to do their job, because while she's there, she poses some kind of risk to them. And obviously there's no difference between a scalpel and a shank, and I just hope that they're safe during the rest of her stay in the Texas Department of Corrections. It's
just one quick correction. She's not out of prison. Like you had a slip of the tongue there. She's not out of prison.
No, she's in prison. She's in prison with correctional officers, and she'll be there on death row.
Yeah, she's the youngest woman on Texas death row. And you know, I think Texas has got a pretty decent record of
they're not as fast as Florida, but you know, it's still going to take a long time. She's still going to have appeals to exhaust, and it just takes a long time to get to things. So sorry, I just got emotional there just thinking about it, because you know, she was evil in the community there in New Boston and DeKalb, and now she's still evil in corrections. And I just, you know, we sweep problems under the rug in society, and that rug is prison, but she's still a danger to corrections officers there, and obviously she'll hurt anybody. Yeah. I just want them to be safe for the next 20 years or however long it takes.
Couldn't care less about her. Like, she can hang from the rafters for all I care.
Yeah. But we appreciate everybody joining us live. We've got tons of content like this. If you like what you saw, the thing to do is make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, hype the video if you're able to do that. That way we'll be back in your feed the next time you open your phone or you turn on your TV. You can get more breakdowns of true crime. We handle the biggest cases. Drew, like I said, 29 years as a police officer detective. I've been answering 911 calls for 11 years. Every true crime story starts with a 911 call. This one was certainly no different. I'm glad justice was done in this case, but we talk about all kinds of cases where justice was done and not done, and there's tons of stuff here. Drew, go ahead.
I want to direct your attention, if you haven't seen the members only video, if you're a member here, how we want you to drop membership and pick up Jon's Spotify subscription, because he has amazing content. He has been killing the game. So do that. Go to Spotify, become a member anyway. If you want to keep, like I said, look, I'm not going to turn your money down if you want to keep paying us here in YouTube, because I've got lights and StreamYard and all kinds of stuff to pay. The other announcement is, I have a channel that I've been partnering with somebody else on. It's called Detective Baxter.
It's called Detective Baxter Leaves Jon Behind.
Right, leaves Jon in the dust. It's been around for about a month, and it's doing very well. It's just a body cam reaction channel like all of your friends have. So if you want to go over there and subscribe, I've been sending a lot of people over from Detective Baxter over to the Comm Center, and we are starting to convert. I can assure you, we're doing nothing but growing over the past 28 or 30 days between Jon's content, which is stellar if you haven't heard it yet, and then the body cam stuff. But we're here on Comm. Like, this is the bridge. This is where it all started.
Check us out. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. You'll see more content just like this. Thank you, members, for being here live. Thanks for being in the comments. We always appreciate you. Make sure you leave a comment below. We respond to those. Drew's going to be up all night long responding to comments. Drew, thanks for everything. We'll see you back here next week. You guys all have a good night.
911 emergency, police or paramedics.
He's going westbound on foot. Westbound on foot.